Hey everyone, welcome to Indiana Jones review here. So let's see if the fans. My headline was, "Will the fans dial it in?" And thank you, Eric K. He already starts off with the $2 super chat. Look at my lights on here, so you can see my big ugly mug. But Cloudburn Times might be joining us. But thank you so much for that, Eric K. Yep. So yeah, there was no hat popcorn there. There was I went early with my son. We figured it'd be fun to go. Cut out early. He was helping with some projects at home. Like he's like, I gotta paint the garage. I'm like, paint, finish painting the garage door. I'm like, no, we can cut out early and go see Indy. But yeah, we both liked it, but it was almost no one in the movie theater. I was checking the seats, selling out tonight, and there was no no one there. So let's see. Eric K says, "How many DVD copies will you buy of this masterpiece? Probably none." Well, I guess if they do sell a Blu-ray set, there's some good and bad about it. So right now, I'm not going to give any spoilers. When I do some spoilers, um, the good about it, Harrison Ford. I don't know. I can't. Everyone keeps talking about Chris Pratt uh, taking over as Indiana Jones, and I really wonder if he could do it because Harrison Ford is just so amazing at this role. And let me say hi to Mr. Angel here too. Hail, Mr. Angel. He says, "Voting with my wallet. Will never watch this movie. Just die already, Disney." Yeah, no, Disney's not very popular with people right now. But yeah, Harrison Ford is just so fantastic. I got to say, for his age, um, he really pulls it off at that age, as best he can. I think he moves a hell of a lot better. If you remember watching The Irishman, they de-aged the actors, but you could tell like De Niro in some of the scenes just was so stiff and couldn't move around. So for his age, he's impressive, right? They actually have a scene of him without his shirt on, and they do explain. I don't want to get this part's light on spoilers, but they do explain why he's not with Marion, why his son's not around pretty well. Um, let's see, what's the isn't it? Yeah, he's still the hero, but that's Helena is an annoying character, I have to say. When you watch Temple of Doom, Willie is annoying, but it's a different kind of annoying. It's more of a she's stuck there with Indiana Jones in that situation, and she's just kind of the secret, it's the standard femme fatale, not femme fatale, but just comic foil, I should say. And I guess her screaming is really what gets you. I didn't even notice that until Retroblasting did a video on that. So she's more of a comic relief, semi annoying character, but she's not having dialogues with Indy about women's rights and capitalism in the middle of the scene. So that was some of the things that threw me out. And hail to Chris Persia. He says, how could they not have had popcorn container? Yeah, I guess it was a different theater. So I went to AMC, and yeah, the manager is probably stocking up and selling on eBay later tonight. So my AMC, the last two movies, they didn't have anything special there. So I was surprised at that. So that kind of shocked me that they didn't have anything special there for promote the movie, especially Indiana Jones. And of course we did go early, to see this movie. So let me move my ugly mug over here. I'll shrink myself so we can see. Little fans dial. Oh, this is kind of cool. StreamYard. Look, you can move yourself around here. But yeah. So what's interesting is uh he is the hero again, but in some ways he's not. So that's annoying. Hey, Maddie's daddy is here. Hail, Maddie's daddy. Yep. So it says good seeing the mighty wrench of the north. Yep. Hail, Maddie's daddy. Yeah. So yeah, so the movie starts off. Everyone, this is not a spoiler because everyone knows there's that flashback to the train scene. So that was pretty fantastic, I have to say, and the aging was good. And if you just watch that as a 20-minute uh Indiana Jones short, I guess you could say that segment was pretty well done. And there's one scene when he's running on top of the train, and my son was like, "That was some of the worst CGI I've uh, I've ever seen." I said that was that was horrible. But it's from a distance, so you kind of just excuse it. But did you could just tell how fake it was? Of course, running on top of the train. But the fight scenes, I don't know if they had, if they're taking his head and putting it, there's a stunt actor, I assume, for a lot of the scenes, and they're digitally transposing his reaction, his acting onto another body, or some of those scenes he's actually doing the stunts. So yeah, Mr. Angel's not going to watch it. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, vote with your wallet. And I think a lot of fans are really don't care at this point too, because Indiana Jones, my son was was just out of college, and he's like, when was the last movie? Was that 15 years ago? I think when he was uh 8 years old, or 5 years old. So Indy's really kind of an old relic in both ways, from the past. And he was asking me, he's like, when was the last movie set? Was it set in the 90s? Like, no, that was in the 50s when he saved himself from the refrigerator, from the nuclear blast. But yeah, the opening to the movie was pretty good. Because it's him in the past. The standard, going for the holy grail, or an object. So that was interesting. Yeah, Chris is asking, yeah, it was equal to the CGI the Flash or slightly better. And I read that the baby scene in the Flash, they chose to make it kind of blurry like that, and that was supposed to be the Flash's point of view, which of course, how are you supposed to know? So it looked very, very cartoony in the Flash. I'm on a Dolby theater, or Dobley if you watch Spinal Tap. The projection looked pretty good in the horse scene. That scene where he's going down the parade didn't look as bad. I don't know if they fixed it, or maybe it's being in the movie theater, not seeing your screen. It's kind of a crazy, crazy scene, but it's fun indie in terms of, yeah, he gets into these uh, crazy predicaments, and like in Temple of Doom, where they have that raft scene where they get the plane crashes and they go down the waterfall. I mean, yeah, so some of that you got to suspend disbelief. Yeah, it's Indiana Jones. But um he does fight well, but he does allude to his age in it, saying how many times he's been shot and how many plates he's got. But he seemed more believable in this, I think, for what they had him doing versus Crystal Skull. So Crystal Skull had him doing a little bit more stunts. And yeah, it says Mr. Aaron said, I remember Indy in his glory days as I'm watching me destroyed by angry feminist Phoebe. Yeah. And then Flash sees everything. That's what they're explaining when he was at super speed. They said his speed would be make people look funny. So that's what they decided to do. Or maybe it was just a cost cutting measure. Oh, Maddie's Day says, I didn't realize this was an indie film. Yep. And hail to Brian Hepburn. Thank you for being here. Yeah, so the beginning starts off good. And of course it's a standard it's the standard let's find they've got to find the dial of destiny. It's the name of the movie. So that's not a that's not a spoiler. But yeah, so there's we got my buddies here. Good. Pop yourself in, Clobber and Times. I was just uploading something.
Hey, welcome everybody. I just I'd already told the boys over there at Tom's that would be going on with them, but I wanted to jump in here and say hello to you first real quick. We gotta go in there in about 10.
Yeah, no, we're not gonna go. Yeah, I think that we'll probably go to 8:00, and then that's a good time to my dinner is here too, so I want to grab that too. But even though I had enough fill of popcorn. But so was it better than Strange New Worlds episode last night, or what did you I mean, my first reaction, my son and I, we thought it was we enjoyed it, we had fun, but Phoebe is just annoying. Her Helena is just an annoying character. If you want to take the floor.
Be warned, folks. It is as one of the most boring things I've ever been subjected to in my life. It is a crashing bore. It's just it's funny because it doesn't have all the unbelievably really bad type of stuff that you saw in Crystal Numbskull, but boring is a different kind of bad, and it's pathetic. I gave this thing a chance, even past its first opening 20 minutes, which it wasn't all that great shakes either. All done in the dark, and it was just kind of blah. And then when Phoebe shows up, And for the first like 20 minutes or so, when she was just being normal, respectful, and nice to him, I was like, oh, maybe she's not going to be so bad, like everyone says. And when she went into, when we find out, her real, I know we're not spoiling anything, what she's
Well, no, yeah,
all
minor,
about.
very minor
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Well, we find out basically what she's all about. She goes into overdrive annoying mode. And it doesn't really matter that much, though, because the movie doesn't have much of a story. It's like the same old kind of crap you've seen a million times. This is the ultimate movie that should not have been made. And after that, it comes a slog for me. I mean, I was just like, what? I need this movie to be over big time. Because I don't seeing this done to Indiana Jones. Like I said, I've seen my characters that I love stuck in bad movies, and I go, that was a bad movie, whatever. Stuck in a morass like this, where it's just painful. It's like they're murdering him for 2.5 hours. It was just beyond depressing what they saw them doing to this character. None of the action's inspired. None of the story is inspired. None of the dialogue is inspired. He's just, I mean, people make the same jokes all the time. But do you really want to see your grandfather running around fighting people? Yeah, the chase people. Oh, good Lord.
Well, my grandfather sometimes could kick ass, but you wouldn't want to mess with them. But
no, I see what you're saying. But it, though.
I think most of the stunts they had him, they didn't have him doing the crazy stuff they did in Crystal Skull, at least. Although the opening scene where basically they've got him hanging by a rope and he's about to die, and there was some crazy stuff maybe you could forget, like Indiana Jones stuff that was like there's an explosion, and it's like, well, why didn't he get wiped out? Was he in the fridge again along with the Yahtzees?
Yeah.
But it was still a fun. I mean, that part is fun, and then it was first what happened too. I like the opening scene, yeah. So it sounds like clown character. I had fun with it. I went with my son, and of course, part of it's the nostalgia. It was my dad's favorite movie that I used to go with him. So I said, let me go take my son to see it. Well, and so part of that is kind of like the Flash. You get the nostalgia of Keaton, but the beginning I enjoyed. I mean, I can see where it was dark, but I did enjoy it, I guess. But
I was expecting to enjoy that because I heard so much about it.
It wasn't. Well, I have to say, it wasn't like an amazing, Indiana Jones running away from the boulder. It's more of the same. Your hero's in the same predicament.
That scene a million times. A guy on a train.
Yeah.
Sorry, noise.
That's okay. Yep. And thank you, Eric, for that. Says like
thank you, Eric.
8.5. Thank you so much.
I think he's highballing you a little bit there.
Yeah. But I mentioned before you got on too, when they're doing the chase scenes and they're in the car. I mean, it's kind of like you've been there, done that, and the ridiculous thing, they're in these little scooters and they're driving around and they're chasing like a Mercedes. And there's no way they're gonna catch him. And then Helena's got to interject all like this. Girl power stuff in the middle of when they're fighting, they're in between cars and they're arguing. It's not like a short round or something like, Indy, I told you to grab that or to do that or something that was relevant to the chase. It was like, I'm so stunning and I can do this, and there really was no respect for him in some of those scenes. And the problem is her character flops around, so in the end she's got her obvious redemption arc with Indy at the very end, but you really dislike her as a character for a good percentage of the movie, and a lot of that's the writing, the way they wrote her characters. Basically, she says that line where she says, well, you stole it and I stole it back. That's capitalism. Like, no, that's fascism when you steal, or communism when you steal property from people, not capitalism. You got it all wrong. And that's meant to be that snarky line. It's the set in the 60s, or we've just made it to the moon, so 69.
Right. Alabama Nazis, of course. Those characters were garbage.
Yeah, and when there's the CIA's involved in it, and they've got a Yahtzee. These are very, very minor spoilers. It won't matter, but there's a Yahtzee scientist who helped, get us to the moon, which is true if you know about Operation Paperclip. And yes, we did get a lot of scientists at the end of the war, but believe me, they're much happier coming to our side than going to the Ruski side, because it didn't end very well for most German prisoners of war in Russia. But there was good about it, but I think if they'd had written this with like an older short round having another adventure where it was he kind of gets dragged into it, and you didn't have all that
Right.
that you didn't hate hate her character, because all the time that she's working with Indy, there's like a tension there where it's not like with Salah, with one of his buddies.
No.
And at least he told her off in the boat in that scene where I don't want to say what happens, but something bad happens with one of the characters and she's all happy and smiling, and he's like, this just happened, and he told her off.
He got his friend murdered. Yeah. But no,
yeah.
It was which was terrible. And they were so going for the short round with that character, and he was just so and he was just so blah.
The younger kid.
They were trying for it, but the kid, they forgot something. Short round had a personality.
Yeah. Yeah, let me show some pictures from the movie. But yeah, he there was no charm. You can't. I never fault the actors for the scripts, but yeah, there was really no charm. There were a couple of fun scenes, and the kid did help save the day. But that's okay, because Short Round does help save the day. Or Batman to Robin, does help to do. So you can't fault that entirely, but he didn't have
the Kathleen Kennedy insert, by the way. She's totally that.
Yeah. Oh, that's obvious. So you can tell. And then of course they give her this outfit that's supposed to be like her Indiana Jones, I guess, her outfit. But Harrison Ford does look great. I'm giving him that. For an 80-year-old guy, he looks damn good. I hope I can move like that when I'm 80. I hope I'm around when I'm 80. But yeah, it's those are the things I think that really hurt the movie. Because you get standard Indy fare. I think the story was better than the Crystal Numbskull. I think in terms of like adventure and trying to find what they were going after. I think that was made a little bit more sense. It's, the standard we're going for the old artifact, which is what Indiana Jones should be about. But like this scene when what did you think of the scene at the auction house? I mean, that was a little ridiculous too. We've seen that in the trailer where he pulls out the whip and everyone's got guns and 40 people fire at him and all miss.
Oh, it was so. I guess they thought it was funny, but man, oh man, I don't know.
And people missing, people shooting point blank in Indy and missing. Any movie, I hate that when they have the characters doing that. It's like, there were a couple of scenes where they had him dead to rights. Antonio Banderas was in this. I didn't recognize him. Like he sounded. That guy, I'm like that guy sounds like Antonio. But he was good for a few minutes. Yeah,
he was Rennie.
Yeah, he was good in that. So they need a frogman. So they're
poor old Rennie.
Boy, but hey, Andy River Jill and Pat Essence here. He says my son sent out a text to 5 of us saying that he had free tickets, 2 of them if anyone wants them. I mean, I was looking at the theater for tomorrow night on a Friday night, and we're in a big, not a big, but a pretty crowded metropolitan, it's urban area. So usually a movie like this would sell out, and you'd have a lot of trouble getting tickets. I was looking for tomorrow night because my wife wants to go, and her friends will probably do dinner and a movie. And there's plenty of tickets left. I mean, you can get in, so that's surprising. So a movie like this, and same thing with The Flash. I thought maybe that first weekend it'd be more crowded, but this is an old, as I said in the beginning, this old character. It's like I'm like Charlie. That's my son. I'm like, do your friends want to see this or like? Well, no one really cares, Dad.
No, they don't want to see. They don't. I'm sorry, they don't want to see Indy Papa old Indiana Jones. I mean, look. Like it or not, call it ageism, whatever you want. I mean, some of us who grew up loving this character will go see it no matter what. But clearly, since you and I did, but younger generations who might have at some point caught those older movies and like the old ones, the real ones, are still going to go, yeah, he just looks just ridiculous to watch him running around being old, and they don't really care about it that much. And this thing, I mean, look, this. You know how many people were in the theater when we went?
Today?
No,
3 people?
2.
2.
Us.
Oh, you had the so you rented. Oh, come
We
on,
had the
Clever.
whole
That's
theater.
you're spending all the super chats on renting out the movie theater just for you and your buddy.
I rented it out for the senior citizens discount, which I didn't know I got, and the guy gave it to me. It cost me $7 to watch this crap.
Ouch.
And so it's which I didn't know I was qualified for until my friend told me, the guy gave it to me by accident. My friend said, "You mean you haven't been using that all these years?" I didn't know.
Like, oh yeah, I get that. Yeah.
And by the way, we got for the second time in a movie, the same theater, even though it was in a different theater, a different stadium, we had the closed caption drivel.
Oh yeah, I noticed that on my website, the website for the theater, they had the time and they said captioning. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't want to wait till later, so we're like, oh, we'll have to put up with it. He watches stuff like that at home like that anyway. I don't really like it, but I don't even care,
Yeah. So this is how my movie started. So if you saw my Twitter,
crap.
So I think it was just the they show all the previews through Windows. I guess I don't know how the projector works. It's all digital, so it was like a half-hour delay, and then the guy came in and the manager came in and said, "We're very sorry at AMC for our delay. If you want to leave now, you can because of the delay, but we're gonna try to start the movie just straight up." And you get free tickets to any movie, even the IMAX, of your choice, no restrictions. And sometimes they give you free passes with restriction, and so you can get to see the movie for free on us. So shout out to AMC Theaters. So that was this movie did not cost me anything, so it was free, and so I'm glad get a free movie, but. Yeah, so Maddie's, I said I like the original Raiders of the Lost Ark. None of the sequels. Didn't see the last 2. Temple of Doom was one of my all-time favorite times in the movie theater, seeing that opening night. So I mean that adds to the experience, just that memory of seeing that. But yeah, this was not a good way to start the movie. So, but thankfully they got it running, I guess, or maybe unthankfully for them, depending on what you thought of the movie. Yeah. Grace Randolph compared to the original Mission Impossible. No, guys. So I'm saying I liked it, but I'm not saying it was. Oh, I can't wait.
I heard she didn't like Phoebe.
She didn't like Phoebe. Yeah.
I heard that from a friend of mine who watches her stupid channel. I don't watch her, so yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, Phoebe was just so annoying. They do explain why Mudd is not there. I won't, no spoilers, but that was good. And there was one very touching moment on the. It was on the boat when Indy explains what he'd like to do. So now there is time travel involved in this movie. That's the other spoiler. We won't, won't say much more, but Captain Finity would go crazy. Maybe
right.
I have to ask him about this.
And people complain about interdimensional aliens, but they have time travel now.
Yeah, see, but I've always thought the Bermuda Triangle was such a cool thing, and maybe like that's a portal through the past, or one of my favorite World War II, or it's not, I don't know if you call it a World War II movie, but the Final Countdown, we know that Nimitz travels to the past. I mean, there's stuff that we've seen, and as Indy says, there's some stuff I've seen. He's like, I don't believe in magic, but there's some stuff I've seen in my life I just can't explain. Yeah, so there's that almost didn't bother me as much because they kind of explain what happens. It's like a Bermuda Triangle.
I'm just saying, people used to complain about the.
Yeah.
I mean, they would mind if everybody was complaining about the aliens. Well, maybe they'll complain about time travel. That's the least of the problems of this movie.
Yeah, no, I agree. If you, that was actually an interesting part. Of course, I don't want to do spoilers, but that was probably the most annoying part. Was the very end. We did get some character redemption in the end, but I was kind of pissed off at what happened at the very, very end. I didn't mind the time travel stuff. Didn't bother me. What happens? I could see where that was set up, where Helena could have been set up to replace Indiana Jones, and he wondered. I guess they did shoot a new ending. So my guess is later when we do spoilers. And hail to Dark Shadow Logan, another comic book store owner. The Cabal is getting back together. Yeah. Which is fantastic. Yep. Yeah. Hope you and Eric K are doing well. Yep. So yeah, keep on fighting, guys. Yep. Keep fighting. Yeah. Give it up. Yep.
Well, I wish I didn't have to go, but I did promise. I didn't
Yeah,
know
no. No. This
Tom's
was
already starting
impromptu.
late, so
Yeah, no, this is impromptu. So we'll close up here. But yeah, let me stop the screen here. And I got to I just wanted to give a first reaction. So I didn't think it was as bad as I thought it could be, but there's a lot. Her character is just insufferable. I guess maybe
yeah.
the indie nostalgia helped me.
Sure, I
But
understand.
but you sound like you were slogging through this movie.
Man, was it just a torture chamber for me? It was just, I mean,
Sorry.
I just seeing this done to the character like this was tragic.
Did you think the ending was the worst part of what happened at the very end, or? And
They
the
left
arguments and
something unexplained, but
yeah, we don't want to spoil it.
But depends on which ending you mean. Let's wait till we talk in depth on it. But.
Yeah, and the dialogue during the chase scenes, I was like, they really had to throw stuff in there now. I was groaning in the movie theater. So, but all right, well we'll get on out of here. Let me just play my.
Join us at the clubhouse later, everybody. We'll talk about a little bit more in the clubhouse if you want.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk in the clubhouse. Yeah, I'm sure Raquel didn't see, but here's I want to just thank all my Patreons and sponsors. So here's this real quick clip. So thank you, everyone. Much appreciated. Eric K, thank you for the super chats. Yeah, we're gonna get out of here because
later, everybody. I'll see you later, bud. I'm gonna have my head over to Tom's now.
Yep. So go head over to Tom's.
Thanks,
yep.
brother.
You had our clubber. Yep. Catch you. Say hi to everyone there. Yep.
Good night, everybody.
Take care. Yep. So it's clobbering time. So everyone, yep. So thanks for hanging out. Go make up your own mind. I can understand why maybe you wouldn't want to see this movie, but I did like some of the nostalgia of it. Oh yeah, drop a like too. Thank you, Maddie's daddy. Yep. So yeah, we've been hanging out too much, but everyone have a fantastic 4th of July weekend, and yeah, go. If you did like indie, go check it out. Don't listen to us yahoos, but I overall I had a good time, even though I didn't like her character. But we'll catch you everyone on the clubhouse tonight, and much appreciated everyone, and hope you all have a great 4th of July weekend. Let me play our outro to get on out of here. Take care, everyone.
Fun storming the castle.
It's 106 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
You're still here? It's over. Go home.